time do you have to be there?
1:15.
Well, they can't start without you, can they?
Do you know for a fact that Vicky's going to plead guilty?
Yeah.
So, how can she then say she ain't really guilty because you made her do it?
Well, right, yeah.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but she's saying she's guilty because she was involved. But she just did what you told her to.
Well, yeah, well then she's lying.
What sort of a job is it anyway?
Something to do with making clothes, I think.
You making clothes?
On a machine, not sewing with a needle and thread. And I'd be trained.
Yeah, you'd flaming need to be.
Honestly, Jamie, you might just give me a bit of encouragement.
Yeah, I hope you get it anyway.
Thank you. Though you know what the shame is?
What?
I couldn't have landed it while we were still on social. Then I'd have got my rent paid and a wage on top. Would have been coining it.
And he's not allowed to talk to you, even when you get in court, is he?
No.
So if he does, even if it's just a whisper, let somebody know.
I think it's time we made ourselves known to the court usher.
Oh, right. Well, good luck, Vicky, love. And just tell the truth, that's all you have to do.
Tell the truth, send my husband to prison.
Over here. Court one. Victoria McDonald.
She turned up then.
I don't think she's got much choice, Mum, seeing as though she's charged as well. Oh, someone else has turned up, look. Hi, Dad.
Andrew, do you mind if I join you?
No, of course we don't.
Stephen, how you doing? All right.
Shouldn't you be letting them know you're here?
No, me barrister told me to wait till she arrived.
Oh, sorry. It's a she then, is it, eh?
Yeah. Best thing, really. The jury tends to believe women more than they do men.
Tell me about it.
Thanks, some
love.
chewing gum, please.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks. So you didn't talk to Mr. Elliot about Ashley's job then?
Oh, I did have a word, yes.
Yeah, but he refused point blank to listen, didn't he?
Thank you, Mavis. I can manage this conversation myself.
Oh, well, I'm sorry I spoke. That's £1.05p, please.
Well, I must admit, Mr. Elliot didn't seem right keen on taking Ashley back. Seemed Ashley had spoke out of turn and not done his cause a right lot of good.
Yeah, but mainly... Oh, no. No, I'm not supposed to speak, am I?
Well, anyway...
No, but mainly, Mr. Elliot didn't take kindly to being told who we should and shouldn't employ.
Anybody being me?
Yes, on this occasion.
Shouldn't have asked you, should I?
Well, of course you should. Out's worth a try.
She was just disappointed to find she didn't have as much influence over him as she thought she had.
Well, thanks for trying. Bye-bye.
See ya. Tra, love.
Bye. I'm sorry, Rita, but it's true. Fred Elliot only wants your company when it suits him, otherwise he don't give tuppence for you.
Really? Well, thank you for pointing that out.
What are friends for?
It's a charge that means what it says. Conspiracy. People coming together to pervert the cause of justice. In this case, to get one of them off. And there is no doubt that a conspiracy took place. Of the three people accused, two of them, Mrs. MacDonald and Mr. Fox, have pleaded guilty. Your task today, ladies and gentlemen, is to consider the role of Mr. MacDonald, who has pleaded not guilty. Mr. MacDonald will claim that he had no part in this conspiracy, that he didn't even know it was going on. This is despite the fact that it involved his wife handing over large sums of money to a friend of his in a transaction very much to his advantage.
Oh, hi. I wanted to say I'm sorry if I was a bit offhand when I came in the other time. It's just, I was that stressed. I mean, you can't imagine.
Oh, no, come on, that's all right.
Only touch wood. I'm hoping things are going to be looking up thanks to your husband. Oh, well, you heard him, didn't you? Because you were there. He's offered me a job.
No, he offered you an interview.
Oh, yeah, but he wouldn't waste his time interviewing me, would he, if they want a job going? So I'd be ever so grateful if you could put in a word.
Oh, come on, he doesn't listen to me when it comes to who he employs.
No.
Not if I'm me putting a word in and probably put the kiss of death on it.
Well, have you got any tips then? You know, what's he looking for when he's interviewing somebody?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just his wife. I've never worked for him. Well, not been paid. Oh, hang on a minute. Talk of the devil.
Oh, are you? I was just coming to see you.
Why? What's happened now?
Well, you promised me an interview.
No,
Dunno.
last night in the Rovers.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, We'll do it here, shall we? Sit down. Well, just sit down.
Oh, right.
I thought I was getting away for quite half hour.
Get you a nice cup of coffee?
Yeah, go on then. No, don't sit there. Sit over there in the corner.
Oh, right, sorry.
Well, I didn't know who she was until she told me she was Steve's wife.
And what happened then?
Well, then she suggested that if I changed my statement saying that Steve knew that the stuff was stolen, that, well, there might be some money in it for me.
How much?
Started off at 3,000, ended up at 6.
And where was Mr. MacDonald whilst these negotiations were taking place?
He was outside.
How do you know that?
Because she said he was.
And did you get the impression that Mr. MacDonald knew what was going on?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, he'd sent her.
Mrs. MacDonald told you that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Fox, on the occasion we're talking about, when Mrs. MacDonald gave you the first instalment of the money, did you see Steve MacDonald?
Well, not...
Yes or no? Did you see him?
No.
And all right, Mrs. MacDonald might have given you the impression he was outside in the car. But mightn't she have done that because she wasn't happy being alone with you in your office? She wanted you to think her husband was outside for her own protection.
That's possible, yeah.
So, just once more, so the jury is absolutely clear, who was it who gave you the money? Was it Mr. MacDonald or was it Mrs. MacDonald?
It's Mrs.
Well, the only work I've got going is for machinists, which I gather is work you've never done before.
Well, not exactly, no, but
No, not at all, ever, no. So I go ahead, I spend a fortune training you, then something else comes along and you're off.
I've been waiting for something else for 5 years, and there ain't anything, not for me. This job's the only chance I've got.
On the house.
Oh, Ta.
Well, you've got one. I don't see why she shouldn't.
She's nice, isn't she, your wife?
So I go ahead and I train you. But I want you to know why I'm employing you.
Does that mean you will?
Listen.
Oh, sorry.
I will be employing
Yeah.
you so at the end of the week you'd have some money to pay the rent. Nothing else. So when I came round to see you with my other hat on, landlord, you'd have some money in your purse.
Yeah, okay.
It's got nothing to do with what you offered me the last time I came to your flat. You got rid of Jamie, right? Put all your makeup on.
Yeah, well, I was desperate then, wasn't I?
All right, keep your voice down. I just want you to know I wasn't interested then, and I'm not now.
I know.
All right, you can start Monday.
Oh, thanks. Oh, thanks. You won't regret it, I promise you.
So you were just 15 when your parents were killed?
Yes.
And your inheritance was held in trust. Approximately how much was this, by the way?
240,000.
Which you received when you were how old?
18.
18. So there you were, a wealthy young woman. Quite a catch. How long was it before you married Steve MacDonald?
About 6 months.
As quick as that?
Yes.
Mrs. MacDonald, whose idea was it to bribe Mr. Fox? Was it Mr. Fox's? Did he suggest it himself? Is that a yes or a no?
No.
So whose idea was it? Was it your own idea?
No.
Well, it only leaves one other person, but I'd still like to hear it from you, Mrs. MacDonald. Whose idea was it?
Steve's.
Steve's. That's Mr. MacDonald, your husband, yes?
Yes.
Did he instruct you to take the money out of your account?
Yes.
And when you took it to Mr. Fox, did he drive you there?
Yes.
What about the second installment? Can you tell us about that?
I gave it to Mr. Fox's wife in the ladies' toilets at the court.
And who told you to do that?
Steve.
Thank you.
So you're saying that Steve MacDonald married you for your money?
No.
No, I hope not. Because when, in February '95, you suddenly decided to leave school and went to live 6 doors away from him, he was, at that time, living with someone else, wasn't he?
Yes.
Till you came along with your money. And then, tell us, Mrs. MacDonald, what did you do to persuade him to break off this rather inconvenient relationship?
I didn't do anything.
Didn't you offer to pay off his debts?
No. It wasn't like that.
Totaling over £4,000? And then, once you'd done that, you whisked him off to the West Indies, and that's where you were married, yes?
Yes.
And who paid for the tickets?
I did.
As you've always paid for everything. Let's face it, Mrs. MacDonald, your whole attitude to life is anything you want, you buy it. Including, on this occasion, your husband's freedom.
No!
What? It wasn't your money?
Well, yes, but...
And you weren't the one who handed it over?
Because Steve wanted me to!
Just one last question. Do you believe it's a woman's place to do whatever her husband tells her without questioning it?
No.
You think she should be capable of thinking for herself, and so be responsible for her own actions?
Yes.
Thank you.
You know, things you forget, like, she really did use her money to break up him and Fiona.
Yeah, although what that's got to do with conspiracy, Mum, I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's all got to do with relationships, hasn't it? I mean, who's pulling whose strings? Sandy?
Well, it's the first time I've thought he does have a chance.
Of course he has a chance.
I mean, if the jury really listened to what's being said.
Elizabeth, that's what they're there for, OK? That's exactly what they're going to do. Now, listen, don't worry your head about it. Can we just have a wee sandwich or a wee drop of trough or something?
Well, Rita asked him, but he wouldn't even talk about it.
I told you it wouldn't do any good.
And you were right. Congratulations.
He wants to be a butcher anyway.
Thought you did.
I had no choice. I was pushed into it by me mum.
Can't she talk him into taking you back?
No, having her talk to him, that's worse than having this Rita woman.
So what are you going to do now? What sort of work is there for an half-trained butcher? 8827. Oh, right, yeah. I'll just go and get him. Just a minute, please. It's your Uncle Fred.
I'm not here, no.
Ashley!
I don't want to talk to him. He'll just shout at me.
So what am I supposed to do now?
I don't know.
Mr. Elliot, I'm sorry, Ashley's not here. I don't know what made me think he was.
Mr. MacDonald, did you instruct your wife to offer a bribe to Mr. Fox?
No.
Did you know that's what she was doing?
No.
What was the first you knew of it?
Afterwards, when she told me.
And what was your reaction?
Well, I told her it was a stupid thing to have done, but she'd done it for me because she knew I was being set up, and she thought it was the only way out.
What would you have said if you'd known in advance that's what she was doing?
Well, I'd have said don't do it. I mean, not only is it like a serious offence, but you don't trust Malcolm.
Mr. Fox?
Yeah, I mean, giving him money. I mean, you know he's only going to come back for more.
So you would have said to your wife that what she was intending was not only illegal, but also that it was unlikely to achieve its purpose.
Well, it hasn't, has it?
You would never have offered money to Mr. Fox because you knew he wasn't to be trusted.
Absolutely.
But your wife wouldn't know this.
No.
One thing that might be puzzling the jury, your wife went to all these lengths to try to keep you out of court, and she did this because she loved you?
I suppose, yeah.
So why is she now here as a witness for the prosecution? Why is she pointing the finger and saying you made her do it?
Because, other people have persuaded her to.
What other people, and why should they do that?
Well, there are certain people that think I'm not good enough for her, and who have tried to stop us getting married.
In what way weren't you good enough?
I was ordinary. I was working class. I didn't go to public school.
I see. And this campaign has continued, has it?
Well, if you take a granddad, for instance, well, he's done lots of things, but one thing he did do was he offered me £5,000 if I didn't marry her. And he even wrote out the cheque and pushed it in front of me.
But you refused it?
Yeah. But he never gave up. He went on and on at her, and well, okay, he's done it. He's turned her against me. She's moved out and she's moved in with him, and well, she generally seems to be accusing me of everything she can.
The marriage has effectively collapsed.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about that?
Well, he's terrible. I love Vicky. I'll always love Vicky. I mean, I don't know why she's doing it, except she just probably just wants to shut me out of her life, and this must be the easiest way of doing it.
Hello. Half a bitter, please. Hey, guess what? I've got a job.
Really? Oh, congratulations.
Well, it's not special, but at least it's a job. So I'm celebrating, because I reckon I'm entitled.
Well, you are.
Hiya.
You don't mind, do you?
Don't mind what?
Me just turning up?
Oh, great. Turn up any time you like. Betty?
Yeah?
Can I have a glass of...
I'll have a glass of white wine, please.
Come in, love.
Cheers.
No, it's just that I thought, well, OK, maybe like you said, I can't always get away at nights or at weekends because of our baby.
Yeah, sure.
Which, I must say, you've been very good about.
Well, I am. Ask anybody.
But, there are, you know, other times in the day when we could get together. If we really want to.
120, lovey.
Right.
Thanks,
Ta, Betty. Are you working today?
Yeah, no, I've been on the stall all morning.
What time have you got to get back?
Hour and a half.
Well, it shouldn't take you an hour and a half to drink that.
No.
£6,000 was paid to Fox so that MacDonald would not have to face a possible criminal charge. Now that much is beyond doubt, and what is also beyond doubt is that Mrs. MacDonald was instrumental in handing the money over and that she withdrew the money from her own account. What is contested, members of the jury, what you must decide is whether she did that of her own accord without her husband's knowledge, or whether she did it because he told her that she must.
Well, where is he? I assume he's here, despite all that nonsense on the telephone.
Well, yeah.
Ashley!
Oh, no.
You know that young lady tells lies. Said you weren't here when you were. Any road. About this job. I've just had 6 young men wanted to take your place. 6, all with university degrees. But I'm soft-hearted. I say I'm soft-hearted. And any road, I don't want to upset your mother. So, what is it you've got to tell me to make me change my mind and take you back?
You're sorry and you want your job back.
Well, yeah, OK.
Well, yeah, OK.
I'm sorry and I want my job back, yeah.
You're a lucky lad, just remember that. Now get outside and wait in the car. Some business to attend to across road.
But only on one condition.
I beg your pardon?
I don't want you going on like you were, making fun of us.
Ashley!
No, I don't care. You didn't hear him.
And what else will you be wanting, may I ask? Bow me head whenever I talk to you, shall I? Keep my voice down in case you're having a headache.
I just want you to stop going on.
All right, yes. Now get outside before I put my boot in my backside.
Will the foreman of the jury please stand? Will you answer my next question, yes or no? Had the jury reached a verdict upon which you are all agreed?
Yes.
And do you find the defendant, Stephen James MacDonald, guilty or not guilty of conspiring to pervert the course of justice?
Guilty.
Guilty.
Yes.
And that is the verdict of you all?
Yes.
I thank the members of the jury. And before I pass sentence, I must ask the defendants if there's anything else they wish to be taken into account.
Rita?
Well, hello.
Now, I think perhaps I gave the wrong impression to the day. So I thought I'd come in and put matters straight between us.
Well, there's no need. It's your business, Fred. You're entitled to sack your employees without worrying what I might think.
He knows that. He made that perfectly clear.
Just as I'm entitled to sack my employees.
Even so, I think I might have given offence.
No?
So I thought the best way to put things right would be to take your advice and reinstate the lad, which I have just done. So there we are. Things are back as they should be.
Well, I hope you don't regret it and then blame me.
I wouldn't dream of it, providing you let me buy you dinner tonight.
Well, all right.
Wonderful. Then perhaps I could give you some advice on how to deal with your staff.
I need it.
Past 7?
See you then.
He's only given that lad his job back so that you'll go out and have dinner with him.
I know, and I'm flattered. And Ashley's got his job back, so Kelly'll be chuffed. It's only you miserable.
Time, gentlemen, please.
Oh, very nice, love. You ought to be joking, I hope.
Oh, always make exception for regulars. A large scotch?
Yes, please, love.
OK, love.
I've just been hearing about how you're going to be employing this young lady.
Yeah, that's right, I am.
I mean, when you think about it, he practically owns me. He's both my landlord and my employer.
Well, you better be nice to him.
Oh, I shall.
Yeah, love.
Keep the change, love.
Oh, it's a pity he's married, really, else he could have me body on top of everything else.
Excuse me, I'm going to make some phone calls.
Oh, I think you've embarrassed her.
Oh, I think I have.
Malcolm Fox, you were an active participant in this conspiracy. The only thing in your favour is that you pleaded guilty. I sentence you to 12 months imprisonment to commence at the end of the sentence you're currently serving. Victoria Francis MacDonald, I believe you were very much under the influence of your husband in what you did, and that therefore a sentence of 12 months imprisonment suspended for 2 years is appropriate in your case. That means you remain free if you stay out of trouble. Stephen James MacDonald. I'm convinced that you were the prime mover in this conspiracy. You used your wife and your wife's money to corrupt the defendant Fox while hoping that you yourself would remain in the shadows. Your aim throughout has been to preserve your own freedom at any cost, even if it meant your wife going to prison in your place. In this you failed. I sentence you to 2 years imprisonment. Take them down.